Before diving into this video, exciting news for the cosmic law discoveries. A major contest is currently running on the channel. The prize, a premium power bank. Participating is simple. Head over to the contest video via the link in the description, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. The drawing will take place as soon as we reach 1,000 subscribers, so don't wait any longer. Join the adventure. And now, on with your video. On a crisp and windswept evening in Alaska, the seemingly routine operations at one of the state's most frequented airports were suddenly disrupted by a terrifying incident that would force authorities to completely shut down the entire facility. Nestled deep within icy green expanses and surrounded by isolated wilderness, this Alaskan airport had long served as a vital hub for residents, tourists, and cargo carriers. But in one chilling instant, these runways were frozen, not by weather, but by fear. The incident wasn't merely disruptive, it was extraordinary in its intensity and the profound mystery surrounding it, raising deep questions about security, national defense, and the unpredictability of aviation operations in one of America's most extreme environments. Before we continue, please click like and subscribe for more content that will get you thinking. It all began with the appearance of an unidentified aircraft on the air traffic control tower's radar screens. The object, initially assumed to be a commercial or private flight, perhaps straying off course, possessed neither a flight plan nor a transponder signal nor any identifiable markings. In most cases, wayward aircraft can be located or contacted within moments, but this one seemed to defy standard aeronautical protocols. It flew at irregular speeds, crossing altitude layers with a precision no ordinary aircraft could achieve. And most alarmingly, it did so silently. No engine roar or aircraft hum was picked up by the ground surveillance audio equipment. As air traffic controllers struggled to comprehend the anomaly, they contacted regional FAA offices and NORAD units to determine whether this was a known test or military operation. The answer was negative. Simultaneously, commercial flights preparing to land or depart received orders to hold or divert to other airports. Several aircraft already descending were forced to abort their landing, with the mysterious object moving erratically near the airspace, constituting a potential mid-air collision risk. For long minutes, the sky above the airport became a theater of confusion, tension, and mounting panic. Pilots circling above the airport described the object in hushed, nervous voices over the radio. According to multiple communications, the object appeared to change shape, elongating, then compacting. Some claimed it emitted almost rhythmic pulses of light, alternating between shades of red and blue. Others insisted it hovered abnormally in place without drifting despite violent winds. This was no conventional drone nor experimental aircraft. These movements were too precise, too calculated, and completely beyond the known capabilities of modern aviation. Ground personnel stationed along the runways and in observation towers also reported seeing the object. Several workers abandoned their posts, overtaken by a mixture of curiosity and dread. A technician monitoring the runway lighting systems noted that certain instruments were experiencing momentary power failures, as if something was jamming their signal or consuming energy. Backup systems engaged, but not without a wave of unease washing over the control room. As minutes turned into an hour, federal agents and military personnel flooded the airport. A command center was quickly established in a secure terminal where technicians brought in specialized radar and surveillance equipment. The airport, once bustling with civilian life, became an ominous scene with evacuation checkpoints and high-security containment measures. Families attempting to leave the airport were placed in holding areas. All flights were suspended indefinitely. Even airline personnel were ordered to leave the premises. The object hadn't landed, hadn't fired, hadn't made contact, yet it had completely paralyzed the airport. What made the situation even more surreal was that Alaskan residents living within sight of the airport also reported strange observations. Some spoke of a peculiar humming that seemed to permeate the sky shortly before the object's appearance. Others described how wildlife, normally indifferent to air traffic, had become unusually agitated. Birds abandoned their nests in chaotic formations. Dogs barked uncontrollably, ears raised as if reacting to a sound humans couldn't hear. For many in the region, the night took an unsettling, almost apocalyptic turn. Though the object never landed nor directly attacked any aircraft, its mere presence provoked a rapid and total shutdown, typically reserved for acts of terrorism or catastrophic mechanical failures. It was a calculated decision by authorities. Better to ground everything than risk an aerial catastrophe. Every protocol was followed as if the airport had been directly attacked. This level of response didn't escape the notice of distant observers. Media outlets relayed the information within hours, and speculation ran rampant. Was it a foreign surveillance vehicle, a new type of drone, an extraterrestrial craft, or perhaps a secret high-tech project tested without adequate coordination? Yet even as these theories exploded online and among local communities, a growing sense of vulnerability persisted. Alaska's airports, like many in remote regions, are vital. They're essential for medical evacuations, critical supply, and transport. The closure of such a facility, even for just a few hours, left rural hospitals waiting for vital medications, isolated villages awaiting food deliveries, and families trying to reunite all stuck in limbo. The incident revealed the fragility of the balance between technology and trust. Aviation functions on a system of predictability, known flight paths, certified maintenance, and human accountability. When an element departs from this framework, something inexplicable, seemingly intelligent yet non-communicative, it threatens not only physical safety but the entire conceptual foundation of air transport. How can one ensure sky safety when unable to identify or understand what shares it? Security protocols were revised in real time, with additional radar brought online and a tacit state of alert imposed on neighboring airfields. Some aircraft were diverted as far as Seattle or Anchorage, leaving passengers perplexed by the lack of concrete information. The FAA released a terse statement mentioning airspace interference without providing details. Pilots were debriefed under confidentiality agreements. Several civilian employees were temporarily relieved of duty pending psychological evaluation, not as punishment, but because what they witnessed defied conventional logic, and their shocked testimonies resembled traumatic reactions more than eyewitness accounts. Even the most experienced military personnel called to assess the situation couldn't provide definitive answers. Images captured by thermal imaging drones deployed during the incident showed something, but not what. A shape, yes. A thermal signature, yes. But it blurred the boundaries of normality, refusing to maintain its form long enough for traditional classification. Whatever it was, didn't behave like an object conforming to the laws of physics. It accelerated without visible propulsion, then stopped instantaneously. It emitted no heat plume comparable to a jet engine, nor left vapor trails. For the men and women who witnessed the event, it was more than just a scare. It was a paradigm shift. They had experienced something literally inexplicable. The airport reopened hours later, but the invisible traces of the incident lingered in every corridor, every hangar, every flashing indicator on the console. The implications were profound, not just for Alaska or aviation, but for broader questions of sovereignty, technology, and perception. What does it mean for national security when an unknown object can violate controlled airspace without reprisal or understanding? How does a nation protect its skies when the intruder conforms to no known form, signal, or intention? And perhaps most troubling, what if it wasn't designed as a threat at all? What if the object was observing, passing through, or simply existing in space we believe to be ours? The incident sparked heated debates within aviation safety communities and military think tanks worldwide. Some argued for improved detection systems capable of tracking anomalous objects, while others pushed for international protocols to handle such encounters. The fundamental question remained unanswered: how does one prepare for the unprepared? In the months following the incident, several unusual patterns emerged across North American airspace. Similar reports, though less dramatic, surfaced from other airports, particularly those near wilderness areas or military installations. Pilots reported brief encounters with objects exhibiting similar characteristics: silent propulsion, erratic movement, responsive behavior to aircraft presence. None resulted in full airport closures, but each added another piece to an increasingly complex puzzle. The Alaska incident had awakened something in our collective consciousness, a realization that our understanding of aerial phenomena might be incomplete. Scientists propose theories ranging from atmospheric anomalies to experimental technologies gone awry, but none fully explain the evidence. The object's ability to seemingly interact with electronic systems while remaining physically elusive challenged established scientific models. Meanwhile, engineers worked overtime developing new sensor arrays and detection algorithms specifically designed to catch non-standard aerial phenomena. These systems incorporated artificial intelligence to recognize patterns that traditional radar might miss. The investment represented a fundamental shift in how we approach airspace management, acknowledging that the skies above us might contain more than we ever imagined. As weeks turned to months, the incident faded from headlines, but not from memory. Airport staff who witnessed the event reported lasting psychological impacts. Some developed new protocols for their teams, incorporating unexpected scenarios into training exercises. Others left aviation entirely, unable to reconcile their experience with their understanding of reality. The economic ripple effects were substantial. Insurance premiums for aviation increased as companies factored in this new unknown risk. Airlines adjusted flight paths away from areas with reported anomalies. Tourism to Alaska initially declined as nervous travelers reconsidered visiting. Eventually, the incident became part of local folklore, discussed in hushed tones in airport bars and pilot lounges. Yet beneath the surface, profound changes were taking place. The government quietly established task forces to investigate similar incidents. Military units received new training on handling unexplained aerial phenomena. Emergency response protocols were updated to include scenarios beyond traditional threats. The Alaska incident had fundamentally altered our approach to aviation security. Perhaps most significantly, it challenged our anthropocentric view of aerial dominance. For decades, humans had considered the skies their domain, regulated and controlled through technology and treaties. The incident suggested that other forces might be at play in that vast expanse above us. It raised philosophical questions about our place in the universe and our assumptions about who or what else might share our airspace. Scientists began reviewing decades of UFO reports and unexplained radar signatures with renewed interest. What was once dismissed as sensor errors or misidentification now demanded serious investigation. Research grants flowed to projects studying atmospheric physics, electromagnetic anomalies, and potential non-human intelligence. The incident had opened doors previously sealed by skepticism and disbelief. Airlines modified their emergency procedures, adding codes for unexplained phenomena alongside weather delays and mechanical failures. Pilots received training on maintaining calm during encounters with unknown objects. Air traffic controllers learned new protocols for managing airspace when conventional rules no longer applied. The entire aviation industry was adapting to a new reality where the impossible. The investment transformed airspace monitoring from a simple tracking system to a complex adaptive intelligence network. Public perception of aviation safety evolved as well. Passengers became more aware of the limitations of current security measures. Some developed anxiety about flying, while others found the mystery exciting. Air travel, once taken for granted, now carried an edge of uncertainty that hadn't existed before. Airlines struggled to balance transparency with the need to prevent panic. The Alaska incident became a case study in crisis management and communication. Aviation schools incorporated it into their curricula, teaching future pilots and controllers about handling extraordinary situations. Military academies used it to illustrate the challenges of protecting national airspace against unconventional threats. The incident's ripple effects touched every aspect of aviation education and training. Beyond the practical implications, the incident sparked a renaissance in aerial phenomena research. Universities established new departments studying unexplained atmospheric events. Government agencies allocated funding for projects examining the intersection of physics, technology, and potential non-human intelligence. The scientific community began approaching these questions with open minds rather than immediate skepticism. In the years following the Alaska incident, similar events continued to occur with increasing frequency. Each brought new data, new questions, and new challenges. The aviation industry adapted, creating flexible systems capable of responding to situations that defied conventional understanding. What once seemed impossible became the new normal, forcing humanity to reconsider its assumptions about the skies above. The Alaska airport, quiet again on most nights, stands as a reminder of that pivotal moment when certainty gave way to possibility. Its personnel still watch the skies with a mixture of vigilance and wonder, knowing that at any moment the familiar patterns of aviation might be disrupted by something beyond comprehension. The incident changed everything, yet in some ways changed nothing at all. We still fly, still navigate the skies, still trust in the systems we've built. But now we do so with the knowledge that those systems might encounter phenomena they weren't designed to handle. We've learned to expect the unexpected, to prepare for scenarios we can't fully imagine. Perhaps that's the most valuable lesson from that windswept night in Alaska, the recognition that our universe might be far stranger and more complex than we ever dared believe. The incident serves as a humbling reminder of how much we still don't know about the world around us. It challenges us to remain open to possibilities, to question our assumptions, and to prepare for a future where the boundaries between the known and unknown continue to blur. As we move forward, we carry with us the lessons learned from that extraordinary night when an unknown object shut down an entire airport and forced us to confront the limits of our understanding. We emerged not weaker, but stronger, more adaptable, more willing to face the mysteries that our vast universe continues to present. That cold evening in Alaska will forever mark a turning point in our relationship with the skies above. It reminded us that despite all our technology and understanding, we remain students of a universe far larger and more mysterious than we can fully comprehend. And perhaps that's how it should be.